This is Bob. As you can see, Bob does not appear ready to face the harshness of Lordran. He's in his loincloth and wielding a plank shield, and frankly, he looks like he'd get destroyed by the first hollow that glances his way. But don't worry, we can fix that. We'll turn Bob into a proper tank, someone who can shrug off hits like it's a Monty Python skit.
'Tis but a scratch.
Let's get started by guiding Bob through an early route to gather some essential gear that'll help him survive the brutal landscape that is Lordran. Our goal is to make Bob as durable as possible as early as possible. First things first, when creating Bob, choose the Master Key as your starting gift. This key is a gateway to many early game shortcuts and treasures, and it's going to be critical for Bob's survival. Bob starts off at the Firelink Shrine, where everything seems peaceful. Don't be fooled. From here, we'll take Bob to the Valley of Drakes and nab our first piece of equipment, the Dragon Crest Shield. It's going to be Bob's shield for now, offering decent stability and high fire resistance, which is particularly useful against early enemies. Now that Bob is slightly more shielded, it's time to head to Darkroot Garden, which is also through Valley of Drakes, which is much faster than the normal progression path. Bob will need to navigate through Darkroot Garden to acquire one of the most useful items for a tank build, the Dragon Crest Shield. This shield is located behind a menacing Black Knight. Don't worry if Bob isn't ready to face him yet. Just grab the shield and leg it. If Bob manages to defeat the Black Knight, great. But running away is perfectly acceptable here. After all, discretion is the better part of valor, right? The Dragon Crest Shield increases stamina regeneration, which is vital for a tanky build, since it allows Bob to keep his shield up and his weapon swinging. It's an ideal option for those wishing to two-hand weapons like the Zweihander. Now that Bob has a shiny new shield, it's time to get him some proper armor. Continue deeper into Darkroot Garden, avoiding or defeating the tree-like enemies that blend into the environment. They're sneaky, but Bob can handle them with a bit of caution. Eventually, Bob will come across a clearing with the welcoming committee asleep. Next to them is the Elite Knight set, our golden goose for starting equipment. In the same area, there is an imposter tree that looks like part of the environment but can be destroyed. Take it down to reveal a path leading to a set of ruins. Here, Bob will find the Wolf Ring, guarded by some rather unfriendly stone knights. This ring is a game changer for a tank build, as it boosts Bob's poise by 40 points. Poise allows Bob to withstand enemy attacks without being staggered. At this point, Bob is nearly indestructible compared to his starting state. The choice of weapon is entirely up to you. Whatever weapon speaks to you the most is probably the ideal choice for you. Now look at Bob. He started as a scrawny Deprived with nothing but a loincloth, but now he's armored in the Elite Knight set, wielding a powerful shield and standing strong with the flair of a seasoned warrior. Bob is ready to face the dangers of Lordran, blocking attacks and shrugging off hits that would have knocked him out earlier. Remember, the key to surviving in Dark Souls is not just about how hard you hit, but how well you can take a hit. Bob is now equipped to do just that, with all the early game essentials needed to tank his way through this unforgiving world. Thanks for watching, and happy tanking.